I am Marcus with That Nerd Show here at the 2019 Dallas International Film Festival, and we are speaking with the filmmaker behind the great documentary Running for Beto, and I'm going to have him introduce himself to our audience.
Sure, I'm David Modigliani, directed the film.
Right, and another special guest who is running for city council in Houston.
Yeah, Marcel McClinton.
And you are just turning 18, just in time to run.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to get to that in a moment, but we got to talk about this first. I find this documentary very interesting, especially now after the fact. But I'm curious, when did this process start for you? I mean, did it really just kind of start with, does this guy really have a chance? And I want to explore that, or was there something else behind the inspiration of this film?
Yeah, so I first met Beto at first base in a Sandlot baseball game. My team, the Texas Playboys Baseball Club, was hosting a team that some friends in El Paso had formed, Los Diablitos, and I was playing first base, and the other team had this lanky center fielder with a name I hadn't heard before, who was running for Senate. He had announced 6 weeks prior. So we met that way, and it was really clear to me what an amazing person he was, but also the type of campaign that he was going to run. So as a filmmaker, the idea that he was going to go to every county in Texas, that he wasn't going to take PAC money, that he was going to have, no pollsters or consultants, that sounded like a really exciting odyssey to follow. And so we got started doing that.
Were you a little cynical when you heard that? Like, there's no way that a politician's really going to do that?
When Beto says something, he believes so strongly in it that the conviction and the authenticity of his belief really makes you. It felt clear to me that he was going to do something really special, and that's really why we started making the film. Yeah, long before he became a household name.
Is it more just about him than anything else, or really about the Senate race because it got such national attention, and he actually came close to could beat winning?
Well, I think certainly it was a political moment and reawakening in the state of Texas that certainly Trump's victory in 2016 brought a lot of people like Marcel, other activists, to just say, like, we have to get involved. So many people trying new things for the first time, including Beto, including his campaign manager, who had worked at GE for 18 years. His campaign communications director, who's 24 years old, basically just out of college. And so I think that it was about Beto, but the film is also really about this moment in Texas of a kind of reinvigoration of the democracy in this state.
Okay. What was the most inspirational thing about him for you, and actually for both of you?
I think for me it was in some ways the paradox is he was able to be really sort of find the joy in what they were doing, blasting the Ramones on the radio and scarfing down tacos and just, like a band on the road, but also to possess that very fierce urgency about the grave implications of life and death, whether it comes to healthcare, to gun violence, other issues. And he was able to hold together at the same time the depth of the issues and also the joy of campaigning, and that was really inspirational to me.
How about you?
And with me alone, I think that I was really skeptical with just giving my support for Beto outright, because I didn't know who the hell he was.
You're admitting that? You're not supposed to be skeptical yet.
I definitely was.
Yeah.
And I think that when we sat down in that living room, I've never talked with someone so deeply on a deep level. I didn't think that I would have a conversation like that with a candidate for office. And so just, listening to what he took away, we met again that same week on Thursday in his DC office. And he remembered all of our names. He showed us his notes that he took at the meeting, and I was just really impressed. And so it was meaningful to me that we meant so much to him.
Did he inspire you to go into politics and make a run for something?
Beto's inspired me to do a lot of things and kind of change the way that I carry myself and in the way that I think about politics and the way that I think about party lines in the country. I'm running off because of my experience with gun violence, and so I'm running because Houston's seeing a lot of trouble right now. I'm not running because of my love for Beto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with every documentary, I mean, your story kind of changes because you're on a journey yourself, and I feel like it's those kind of films that you really don't know how it's going to end.
That's right.
Do you feel like this story is still going on even though he's lost and now that he's going to run for president?
Well, certainly his story is, yeah. I mean, I think what we tried to capture was the beginning of a movement that clearly continues on, and it's exciting to have a finished film that really ends on election night in Beto's kitchen as he and Amy process having come incredibly close but having lost this race. And there's now this added context that as the film comes out on May 28th on HBO, we're in the middle of this presidential race that he's really in the thick of. So it's exciting as a filmmaker to have a story to tell and show that nobody's seen before that I think will be relevant to our current political conversation.
Now, at that Nerd Show, we ask all of our filmmakers and future city councilmen a nerdy question.
Okay,
and this is going to be the toughest question you're going to get.
I'm ready.
If you could have a weapon of choice or a superpower from the nerd universe to fight the forces of evil, what would you choose?
A weapon of choice or a superpower?
Yeah, but to fight the forces of evil.
Fight the forces of evil.
tough.
I told you.
It is hard.
I mean, a superpower to just project like a live fact check onto every politician, where I could just I just go like that, and then there would just be a fact check, like a scroll right under them of everything they were saying, and I would just that's what I would do. Yeah.
I think we all want that.
Yeah.
How about you?
Something just a little more, I don't know, not as exciting. Mine would be like, if everyone else could freeze, but I could just do me for a minute. Yeah.
He's a busy guy.
Just everyone chill. Everyone don't talk, don't speak, don't move, and then let us do us, and then we can go back and hit play again.
That's a true candidate's answer when he's being busy. I just need a moment to myself.
It's an honest answer.
Part of the thing that's amazing about these guys, they're trying to go to high school and maybe have some semblance of a senior year that you or I might have had, but also because of what they're encountering, having to really kind of maybe grow up faster than they might like and sort of live two lives at the same time. So I could see wanting to freeze time for a minute. Yeah.
Well, both great answers. And thank you for the interview.
Yeah,
good luck with your campaign and good luck with the film.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
So enjoyed it. Thank you.